I spent 100 hours on one single bow aim train server, and I'm shocked by how long it took me to discover this one very important thing. So let's start right at the beginning. After spending about 50 hours of my lifetime on some goober PvE Rust server, I thought that it was finally time for some PvP. So I hit up my friend with something like, let's play some Rust, and he was like, okay, see you in 2 days. And that's when I decided that I wanted to show off my bow skills. Except, I had no bow skills. So in those 2 days I grinded at least 10 hours of bow training and hit up every single YouTube video out there. And after 2 days, I was still pretty bad. But I learned how to jump shot, which is pretty damn cool, and if you ask me, I thought that was really fucking cool at that time. But anyways, I was still ass, so I figured that practice makes perfect, right? So over the course of the next couple weeks, I always made sure to spend at least a couple of hours every single day training my bow aim. Oh, and the server I spent most of the time in is this one right here, but it's way more than just a bow aim train server, but more on that later. So after about 30 hours of bow training, I got a bit better of course, but I was still pretty ass, until one day where I discovered a great strategy, because my theory was that if you don't get hits, you don't have to hit as much. Makes sense, right? Well, of course. I had to exaggerate everything, and the next 20 hours were literally this. Well, I mean, I did get hit less, but it wasn't even close enough to make up for all of the shots that I missed, so I scrapped the strategy too. Well, not completely, because then I discovered strafing back and forth, which definitely worked way better than before, and I also just generally got better at the game, meaning better game sense and better at bow PvP. And that is one really important point: the longer you play the game, the better you automatically get. Well, that is only if you don't do the fidget spinner. But I guess that's why this video was made. I want my 20 hours back. At the time I thought it was pretty decent, and to celebrate that I spent about half of my next 10 hours training my compound bow aim. Ah! Fuck these guys. I fell from my tree. Everything seemed to be working smoothly. I mean, I was making consistent progress and it was looking like I would be quite a pro at the 100 hours mark, but that was before the incident. For some reason my brain decided that it would be a great idea to jump every single time I shoot, so this is giving me fidget spinner flashbacks, and I wasted another 20 hours jump shotting with every single shot. So I had only 10 hours left and things were gonna have to change. But then my savior came. Remember the guy from the beginning who I tried to flex my bow skills to? Well, one day we were chilling in UKN doing bow 1v1s and he was like, why the fuck are you jumping that often? And then he enlightened me that jumping is ass, and I was like,
this is big brain time.
So the last 10 hours were me grinding out my new strategy, and it actually worked pretty nicely. I'd say that I'm kinda cracked now at bow PvP, but the only problem is that when playing on a real server my fucking hands start shaking and my arrows decide to visit the fucking moon. But that's because I don't function under stress, and that is a different theme. The bow PvP itself works great, after only practicing it for 100 hours. I mean, it was totally worth it, right? And let's summarize. Fuck all of the fancy mechanics. Just hit your shots and you will be surprised by how far this will get you. Now I oftentimes don't even move my head at all, as long as I hit the enemies more than they hit me, then I'm fine. And trust me, 99% of Rust players miss at least half of their shots. Another tip is to get a crosshair. It costs like $3 and is totally worth it. Your skill level will rise through the ceiling. And as promised, the server is called BKML's Bow Aimtrain server. The IP will be in the description, and you can do pretty cool stuff like taking oil rig with a bow and compound bow and buying guns with kills. It's just epic. Go check it out because it's pretty cool. And if you don't believe my bow skills, then you should go check out this video. It's pretty enjoyable and you'll probably have a good time. And now, get out of here.